Megan and smoker's cough. Because what is wrong with me?
I don't know.
God, why can't
Do you
you
do that
just
anywhere
laugh
else?
like a normal person? Like not like wheezy, Megan wheezy.
It's the final video of 2018. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm Megan,
Wendy.
and we're wrapping up our 2018 with a little Q&A. This list of questions comes from Definitely Raw on, or Definitely RA.
I'm making you switch over.
You should.
There.
On Instagram. It is slightly adapted from a different version of questions that has kind of gone around the internet that, you know, people used to do as a blog post. Now it's happening on Instagram, and we're doing it right here on YouTube. What did you do on your birthday?
My birthday was at the beginning of, it was in March. I don't even remember what I did on my birthday.
Really?
No.
Nothing? Did you guys go somewhere? You go out of town? We went to dinner at 4:30 p.m. on my birthday.
Woo!
And I got mad because nobody bought me a cake.
I do remember that.
And my husband and son went to Yogurtland on the way home. And they bought me yogurt without toppings. And I pouted.
I'm going to send you a cake, and then a male stripper is going to jump out of it, and your husband's going to love that.
I want to eat the cake. The male
Okay.
stripper is not exciting to me.
No, it's
but
gross.
no.
No. But I'm going to send you, like, something funny. I'm going to remember this for next November.
My birthday's in September. What are your strongest memories from this year?
Being in Nashville during the Iris Awards. I'm going to be there with you.
That was a big one. That was a bummer. It's funny, like, because I have the Iris Awards on this list elsewhere. My short-term memory, which I consider like anything within the last year, so my short-term, is gone.
Me too.
So I'm like, my strongest memory is our trip to Ireland, which was 3 weeks ago. I mean,
That's a pretty big deal.
I do think that I will remember that. I think, you know, I will remember that well and fondly for a long time.
Oh, okay. So am I supposed to, like, I picked something, puts a theme on 2018. I picked like a sad event. Like,
No, it doesn't matter. Just whatever that stands out in your mind.
like Hawaii was wonderful. Went to Hawaii.
Yes,
this
you
year.
did.
Yeah, okay,
And
alright,
you
good.
loved it.
I love Hawaii.
What did you do this year that you'd never done before? We got nominated for an Iris Award, man.
Okay.
That was a big deal.
That was a big deal. That was very exciting.
It was exciting. It was very fun for us to be recognized. It was very sad for me to go to the awards alone.
Sorry.
No, it was another moment where I had people really, Wendy and I travel as a pair to blog events, and it was nice because a lot of people were very lovely and kind the night of the Iris Awards and like took me into their little pod. And when we didn't win, which, you know, it's funny because I went in and I was like, I did not feel like we were going to win. Okay.
Yeah.
We were up against enormous names. But when you're sitting there and they run down the list of nominees, you're like, well, there's a chance.
Did
like,
you have a moment like, there's a chance?
I did have because there is a chance, even though I knew the huge names we were nominated against, there's still that moment you're like, it could happen. Maybe
Were you prepared with a speech in the back pocket? Were you?
Not like written down.
No.
Look,
It better have been a loving.
it was an ode to Wendy.
It
let me
better
tell you.
have.
It was.
I wouldn't be standing up here tonight if it wasn't for Wendy.
Look, next year I might get to make that speech
Yeah.
when nominations come out. But you do have that moment, right, where you're like, it could happen.
Yeah.
So just for that split second, when they start to announce it, my heart was like, I like couldn't
Exciting.
breathe for a second.
Exciting.
And then when we lost, I was like, oh, I am kind of disappointed in that moment, right?
Yeah.
And then I was sitting with people, and like the person sitting next to me like was very sweet and like reached over and like squeezed my hand and like kind of just, you know, knew.
Acknowledged it.
Yes,
Like,
like, it's, I don't know. It's what did you want and get?
ooh.
I don't have an answer for this.
Want and get. I mean, I wanted a remodeled bathroom. I got a remodeled bathroom this year.
That's a big deal. I think you forget because you're outside of it, like it's over. That was a big undertaking.
Yeah. I wanted a new dog. We got a puppy this year. So, I mean, these are all exciting things, but I don't think they're like exciting for the viewer.
No, I think they are. I honestly cannot. I don't think I had a great year. I cannot think of a thing that I wanted and got this year.
That means we have no wants.
And it's not true because the next question is, what did you want and not get?
Okay, let me hear it.
Well, honestly, a job. In the past 6
What
months.
happened with that job? Sorry.
So in the past 6 months, I have started to feel the itch to work a little bit.
This is now news to me, you guys.
No, it's not because you knew about that other job.
She wants to ditch all this.
No, I want to do both. But the thing is, part of it is like I do feel very fulfilled in my life. Like I don't feel like my life isn't good enough as a mom, but I think there's some external pressure that's maybe making me feel a little bit like I should feel that way.
Okay.
And I also kind of do miss working, but for me, the job needs to be kind of a unicorn. Like I can't go back full time. I still want to have like the flexibility to pick up my kids. And so it's really like, well, is there the perfect job that will allow me to do that and do something that I'm qualified to do and feel fulfilled and not just working for the sake of working? And believe me, I understand that's a place of extreme privilege to be even able to like put all of those parameters around it. But every time, there's one thing that I'm kind of pursuing, but every time I was about to look at something, I just kept talking myself out of it. And I think 2019 needs to be the year that I need to just go for it.
I have 2 notes for you.
Please.
One, the book that I'm reading right now is called The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, and you need to read it ASAP because it's about not talking yourself out of things, because that thought is an instinct and you need to act on it immediately rather than letting it like marinate and then deciding not to do it. So that is my book recommendation for you. Second, this year for me, like I've been working a lot in therapy and have been talking a lot about I don't feel like I am contributing to life. I am not making a substantial impact on my life or anybody else's life. And she talks about like, well, you're a mom and you're this great mom and you're a wife and this, but I need something else and I don't know what it is. And so I'm working through that. But I understand, like, do you feel like you need some sort of like validation or a paycheck or words of affirmation or
I think all of it. I think I would feel more valuable if I made a contribution to our finances in a significant way. And I think, I do start to feel like, what's my impact? And I don't look at anybody else and think that, I don't have, like, I'm a stay-at-home parent, but my kids are older now. So really, I'm not, and I know it's not true, but I do feel like my impact on them is in many ways transactional lately. It has become more like, what can I do for you? Like getting them to school and getting them the supplies and organizing activities and this and that. And
versus like nurturing this like tiny baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they're in school, they come home, they do homework, we eat dinner, they go to bed, and we do try and spend time together. But I also just feel like so much of our day is getting something done and doing something for them or guiding them to do something. And I know that my presence in their life is valuable, but I don't know. I think that's probably a very common thing of mothers of school-age children who aren't as physically needy. They don't need me to sustain them
the
hour
problem
to hour.
I think is that nobody talks about that.
I agree. Yeah.
I need to know that somebody else is in this boat too, and like, let's figure it out together instead of like, we live this perfect life and I'm this awesome stay-at-home mom and my kids, whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like, I think that's why, some of the, and I say women, but it's men too, but in my community, it's mostly women, throw themselves really strongly into volunteering at the kids' school, or throw themselves into going to the gym all the time, or throw themselves into some other activity. And I don't feel like I've done that. I don't feel like I have a thing that's mine that I've thrown. I kind of just am like, a little bit here and
I feel the
there.
same. I totally feel the
And
same.
I don't think I could be like, oh, I'm spending all my time doing X. What? Because lately, very much lately, I feel like, what am I doing all day? I have no idea. What would you like to have next year that you didn't have this year? Purpose.
Ooh, I would like to have like just a clearer understanding of who I am and my contribution to life and to friendships and to relationships. And honestly, a little bit of healing, and I won't get into that stuff here, but just closing the page or closing the chapter on a part of my life and moving forward.
Did you make New Year's resolutions, and did you keep them? Will you make more for next year?
I feel like we wrote a blog post about New Year's resolutions.
I did.
Oh, and did you keep them? Did you review it?
I read it today, and I was like, whoa, no, that was my plan for this year. No, by and large, I didn't keep them. There's a few, but no. One thing I said is that I wanted to challenge myself physically, and at the very beginning of the year, I was like, I'm going to commit to joining this 6-week tennis clinic, and it's December. So that 6-week clinic turned into weekly lessons, and then even when our coach moved, we got a new coach. It's amazing. It's been the best thing I've done for myself this entire year. I wish I could do it more often. The group of women that I play with is amazing. We now have a female coach, which I didn't know that I needed until we had a new coach, and I was like, oh, she's so much better. What was your biggest achievement of the year?
Personally or like professionally?
I think anything.
I'm glad that we wrote a video course.
Yeah,
that
that's
we
what I put down.
Committed to like a weekend and working on it and getting it out and doing what we did. Well,
it's like months of work.
I know it's months of work, but we took that time away. We're like, let's just focus on this part right here and do it.
What was your biggest failure?
I mean, I could list off 100, but I won't.
I mean, I just don't think I'm in any different place this year than I was last year. And I think at the end of the year, I always hope that I can look back and I'm like, oh, my house is so much more organized, and I have this repertoire of meals that I make every week, and everyone's, we function so well. And the reality is my car is still a dump, and I still have unput away laundry. And I think probably I need to come to terms with the fact like those are not the defining parts of my life.
Totally. Yeah. But why do you make them the defining parts?
Because I can see them. They're so physical and tangible, and they bother. I mean, it's so much easier to focus on like laundry being a problem than an actual problem.
Yeah, no, I understand.
What did you rely on when you were overwhelmed?
Xanax.
I mean, for me, it's all bad habits. It's like...
No, totally. 100%. Yeah.
It's like, hiding in my phone when the world felt overwhelming, or eating, crappy food, or all of the easy escapism things.
Yeah.
Let's do something fun. What are your top recommendations for entertainment? Books, television, movies, music, etc.
So many.
So we have a whole separate video about our top books of the year that we will link down below. So I'm gonna leave that. TV?
So many things. Ozarks. Netflix and Hulu has just killed it for me. So many great shows. And I can't think of any right now. Go ahead.
No, I haven't watched a lot of TV this year.
Oh, really?
No, when I was looking back, one of my resolutions was to finish 4 complete series.
Oh.
I don't think I did.
Okay. So I love the Great British Baking Show, Riverdale, Madam Secretary, Making a Murderer, I'm Sorry, Last Chance You was fantastic, Quantico, thanks to Megan, To All the Boys I've Loved Before,
That was excellent.
Ozarks. Yeah, I watch a lot of stuff and I just loved it. And podcasts for me, kind of a podcast lull a little bit this year for me, with the exception of Watch What Crappens, and it's a review of Bravo shows, which is hilarious, and a fairly new podcast called Believed, which chronicles the awful story of Larry Nassar. So good stuff out there.
Yeah, I haven't been as into, I mean, I still listen to a lot of podcasts, but a lot of times my podcasts refresh and I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
I've enjoyed Dak Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast.
Totally. Yeah.
You know, an old go-to for me, Reply All. I pretty much love every episode they put out. They just don't do as many. Movies. I don't see a lot of movies. Do you see a lot of movies?
Never.
I watched Crazy Rich Asians on the plane.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I
Loved it, right?
loved it too.
So,
I like it better than the book. I am not sure I've ever said that.
Wow.
The book and I were not a great fit. I liked it better than the book.
I love that movie. I also really would recommend Molly's Game. Is a great movie. Do you remember that? It was like kind of an Oscar contention at the beginning of the year. It's really, really good. I have to mention these two movies from Netflix. Dumplin' with Jennifer Aniston. You haven't watched it yet, huh?
Mm-mm.
It was so good. Made me fall in love with Dolly Parton again. Oh my God, I just loved it. And The Christmas Chronicles. Yes, from the Grinch here, The Christmas Chronicles. I cried. I absolutely cried.
We liked it too. I liked that it was like slightly edgier than your standard Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yes.
I mean, it's still totally appropriate for kids, but I was like, yes, there's a little swearing. Like, you know, it just...
I was like, this could be happening in the movie theater.
I agree. And I love the cameo at the end. And yes, that was cute. Good job, Netflix. What song will remind you of this year?
I mean, it's all the crap that my kid listens to. Kiki, do you love me? You know what I'm talking about?
Do
so
I
much
know?
Post Malone too, which I kind of love actually.
Your kid is cooler than my kids. Because
She just-
my kids are into The Greatest Showman, which is what will go down this year's song.
I love it.
for
I
me.
mean, I love those. I mean, I still get chills when I hear that one song.
This Is Me?
Yeah.
That's kind of the song for the year for me.
For sure.
Should have won the Oscar.
Who did? What did?
The song from Coco.
Oh, I liked Coco this year too.
I did too. I did too. What was your most enjoyable... Oh, I'm skipping number 13, which is quote a song lyric that sums up your year. Can you do that?
No,
I'm like...
I can't.
What was your most enjoyable purchase?
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to say it. Disneyland passes.
This is big time, guys.
I have really, really, really enjoyed our annual passes. Yes. And I was kind
That's a
of
good
like,
one.
I don't want to, but I just love it. I'd love to spend that time with my girl. It's just fun. It's so much fun. Yeah.
That's a good one. You know what mine is? It's shoes. It's spending more than $20 at Target and buying Rothy's, and I love them. They're worth every penny. I want another pair.
Exciting.
Did you travel and where?
We went to Hawaii for this, not for the summer, for a summer vacation
We
and
summered in Hawaii.
for a week. And we went to Oregon. We went to Nashville, Tennessee. That was a lot of fun.
Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara. Yeah, a little bit here and there.
A little bit.
I mean, look, I am grateful for the opportunity to travel. I know this sounds like, oh, woe is me. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. But look, I got to go on all these vacations.
I mean,
you know?
stuff is not the same. It's not a direct line from stuff to happiness.
Yeah.
We did travel. We also went to Hawaii this summer. We actually went to the same place a week apart. I took my kids on a Canada-New England cruise. We went to Ireland for a week for Thanksgiving. And then my husband and I just went to New York last weekend. I think that was, that was it. But we had a big travel year. And
Towards
was
the
like,
end of the
yeah, it
later
was
part of the
all,
year.
because we had like big trip October, big trip November. And then we just went to New York. And when we came home from New York, my husband was like, I'm not going anywhere for a long time.
That's good. Until the summer.
He'll change his tune by February. Then we want to go. But we are thinking of trying to like keep it like California, like ish. Tahoe, which I know is not California, but like local maybe.
Oh, fun.
We'll see.
That's
We'll
cool.
see. He'll change his mind. He'll be in Florida by July. What do you wish you'd done more of?
So many things. So many things. So many things. Will you tell me?
Just letting go of the to-do list and going outside. So many times I was like, I don't have time. I don't have time. I have time. What do you wish you'd done less of?
Eat crappy. Oh, phone. Yeah. Do you really feel that way?
Oh God, I'm on my phone all day long.
I've been trying to like really just put it away in the evening and stay off of it. I mean, I'll get sucked into like Instagram like this. It's like, why? Why am I doing that?
Compared to this time last year, how are you different? I don't think that I am. How are you the same in every way?
I think it's a lot to ask of people, like, what changes that you made in 1 year that makes you a completely different person?
Well, and I think this goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Like, we are past the point in our lives. It's not to say that we're not going to have other big life changes, but we're out of the baby stage. We're out of, like, it's not like my kids have been in school for full time for a few years. So we're done with big life milestones for a while. So our life kind of looks the same from year to year.
Yeah.
What is a life lesson you learned this year?
Is this the last question?
Yep.
What is a life lesson? That it's okay to be vulnerable.
Oh, good. Mine is, no one's going to do it for you. Guys, thank you so much for joining us in this 3-week countdown to Christmas. We've had so much fun making these videos for you. I'm going to link all these questions down below. If you'd like to play along, we'd love to see them. Drop us a link. We will see you in 2019 with more videos and maybe something else. Bye, guys.